They take you for granted. They don't see the value you continue to deliver on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. Priorities change. Objective change. The business changes. So we have to always reset and realign. Experience gives us the ability to help our clients see around the corner, anticipate what's happening just before we hit the wall. So it's not just about us. It's not just about us. It's about our network and our ecosystem too. We are not giving away anything. We're building a relationship.
Hey, Dean, no theory this episode. Let's dive deep and give some real practical, hands-on advice on how you build a resilient fractional business. You down for that?
Let's do it, man. I love it.
All right, fantastic. Listen, so let me set the stage just up front and first, okay? We're all hearing about this stupid thing called a recession. We've been talking about it for a long time. People are freaked out because it is a tariff, because it is this, but whatever, okay? And people are freaked out. But you and I both know that the companies that come through any type of good times or bad times are those that are resilient. Those who can actually see the truth of what's going on and adapt to it while keeping their goals in mind. And you, my friend, because you've been doing this for so long as a fractional, you've actually developed a system. Three big things that you need to focus on. And today, let's dive into those three. So, what's number one?
All right. Well, we've got three to go through, as you said. And let me preface it by saying this. These work in any economic cycle. These are the foundations of building a resilient, flexible, dynamic business. But they're even more important in uncertain times because it gives you that foundation to build from. It's not just like throwing stuff against the wall.
Yeah.
So the first one is the biggest trap I see fractionals fall into, which is they say, okay, I've heard about this fractional executive thing. I was an exec in corporate. I was doing this. I'm going to be a fractional. Everybody else around me is a fractional. I should be a fractional too, right? They put fractional on their LinkedIn profile. They put that fractional flag in the ground. And what happens is they put fractional glasses on. So everything they see in the world looks like to them a fractional opportunity. And when they do that, they actually decrease their opportunities by 50 to 60%. They decrease their funnel. They decrease their conversion rates by 50 to 60%. And here's why. Not every business is ready to or needs to or wants to hire a fractional. While we call this podcast the Fractional Pros Podcast, the truth is all fractionals are also and should also be consultants, advisors, professional service providers. It's all the labels. It doesn't matter. Fractional is just one way for us to engage with our client. It's one type of relationship. It's not the only. So lesson number one is develop flexible engagement models.
Flexible engagement models. Okay, that sounds like a super sexy term, but tell me what it means.
What it means is be flexible in how you work with clients. Don't have a package A, B, and C and sell it as a package A, B, and C. $5,000, $10,000, and $15,000. If you don't buy one of those, you don't work with me. That's the opposite of flexible. What I mean is this: spend more time in discovery with your client. Get to know them. Walk them through the process of understanding the problems and challenges, their desired outcomes and goals.
Now, hold on. Right? But you just said spend more time in discovery. Client outcomes, this goals, all that good stuff. Is this more free time? Are we giving away more free?
We are not giving away anything. We're building a relationship.
Okay.
A relationship isn't built in 20 minutes on a quick intro call when they say, great, Atiba, we love you. We've seen your stuff. Send me a proposal. That is not the way to land high quality clients. The sales framework maybe is a conversation for another episode, but I will say this again: spend more time in discovery. I didn't say give away free consulting. I didn't say do a free assessment. Nope. Spend more time in discovery, discovering what they need. you can come to them suggesting your approach to helping solve the problem. That suggested approach could be a fractional engagement. It could be a one-day strategy session. It could be a project that's time-bound. It could be being an advisor on their advisory board or their leadership team. That's what I mean by flexible engagement models. Not everything has to be an hourly rate, a day rate, a weekly rate, or a monthly rate. Honestly, I never talk hourly rate ever. And I encourage people to throw the hourly rate out the window. It's a calculation for you to use, but it's not something you talk about. So that's what I mean by a flexible engagement model. So here's the action step for our audience. Come up with 3 frameworks. An entry level, which could be like a half-day strategy session, for example. You can charge $5,000 for 4 hours of work doing a half-day strategy session. Not a bad way to build a relationship with a client and get paid to do it.
Right.
But some kind of entry level could be a short-term project, could be some kind of an assessment. Then a sort of a mid-tier project is a great next option. So it could be a longer term, maybe it's a 30 or a 60-day project with a more substantial deliverable. And then your higher offer, the optimal one, is obviously a sort of core fractional engagement. Have 3 frameworks. I didn't say offers, pricing structures. I said frameworks in place. So they're already kind of in the back of your mind. So when you're having these conversations, you kind of know how to fit the client into a particular space. But the last thing I'll say on this is they should all be part of a longer term roadmap of working with the client. This isn't a downsell, sell them something cheap, and hopefully we can upsell them something more expensive. It's one step, one phase in your relationship with the client.
Yeah.
And you're going to lay out this longer term roadmap with them. They know that this is just the first step on a journey. So then the next thing and the next thing become a very natural conversation, and you extend the lifetime of the client.
Yeah, and so we've used that kind of strategy there, and I'll tell you how we've used it. We use it by educating early our clients that our goal is to help you become a campaign-driven enterprise. So we're doing marketing for you. And so we're going to lay out the campaigns that you're going to be running for the next year. Right? And so we know we're working towards this big annual campaign and these quarterly campaigns and these monthly campaigns. Right? And so it's that rolling, and there's always the, okay, here's what's next. Here's what's next. Here's how we grow. So yeah, because we suffer.
It's a natural conversation, right?
Yeah.
It's a natural process with them.
Yeah. And when you don't have that, you do, and I'm telling you this from my own experience, you do end up in that, are we going to lose them this month? The contract, and you're always in that pins and needles.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Especially if, which happens for a lot of us, our work starts to become cyclical and repetitive. We're producing similar things for them. Right? It gets boring, it gets stale.
It does.
This keeps it fresh in their mind and keeps the intrigue.
It does. And that leads me to tactic number 2.
Aha.
So great segue there, man. As a fractional, as an ongoing consultant or advisor, you can get into this repetitious cycle.
Yeah.
And there's good and there's bad to that. One of the negatives is they get used to you. They take you for granted.
Mm-hmm.
They don't see the value you continue to deliver on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. That's on us. It's not on them. They got a business to run. It's on us to be of value and be of visible value all the time.
All the time.
So strategy number 2 is implement what I call a client value check-in. Now that's something that I wouldn't tell the client. I wouldn't use that term for a client, right?
Welcome to your client value check-in.
Yeah,
today.
Yeah, am I being valued? But I do call it. But you can call it something like a strategic review.
Yes.
Or a strategic roadmap review. I believe you do it every 90 days. Even if you've got a year-long contract with a client, you do it every 90 days. And that structure looks something like this. You've established priorities and goals when you start the engagement. You've made progress on those priorities and goals over 90 days. Priorities change. Objective changes.
Yeah.
The business changes. So we have to always reset and realign. Sometimes it's like, all right, yep, we're still on the right path. We're going to continue to do that thing for 90 more days. Other times it's like, well, we need to do that, but now there's this new thing coming we need to address. And as a fractional, the unfortunate story is that sometimes we're left out of key conversations because we're not there all the time. We're not top of mind every day. Maybe working with that client one day a week. So that strategic review brings us back into the fold on a regular basis. And we get to reset our strategies, and we get to come back to the client and say, okay, we talked about this slight pivot, this new goal, this new challenge. I'm going to come back to you with our 90-day strategy, our next 90-day strategy. By doing that, you just reset your value with the client. They're like, holy cow, that's why we have Atiba. I hadn't thought about approaching it that way. But you don't go 6 months, 12 months.
That's so good.
It's huge.
Yeah, that's
two.
I can tell you, and being fully transparent, that's one of the areas we're not great at, and we need to get better. And so you just caused me to. I'm going to be firing off some messages soon that we need to get better, because the thing that we do and we do really well is we do monthly and quarterly reports, and so that quarterly report does do everything, but we don't do it with you, and so like we don't walk you through it. We send it to you. Right? We tell you
missed opportunity.
It is.
Sure.
It is. And so yes. Y'all, everybody gets it. Bad Atiba.
Well, here's the other byproduct of this, I tell you. Not only does it make your value be visible, that not only does it make you stickier, oftentimes it gives you the opportunity to grow the relationship. Do more things. Yeah. Should you want to? You can. Maybe you go from a 1 day a week to a 2 days a week as a fractional. Maybe you take on a particular project. Maybe it uncovers opportunity.
Yes.
The other thing it can also uncover is opportunity for your strategic partners, other advisors, other fractionals, other service providers that you can refer in to help that client. That's so much value to your network and to your client.
Facts.
So it's not just about us. It's about our network and our ecosystem too. So that's number two is so overlooked. We come in hot and heavy and ready to go, and all of a sudden we just get into a routine.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good. I needed that one today. Thank you. So on that, y'all, Dean, you can continue this episode. I'm out. I got to go. I got work to do.
You can be texting away while we finish up. All right, let me hit you with number 3, and then I'll let you get back to getting your staff aligned around this. So number 3 is this. If you're relying, as a fraction, you're relying on your technical expertise to land clients, you're going to have a tough time. Because a technical expertise, regardless of what area of the business you're focused on, can be very quickly commoditized.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
If you're a CFO and you're getting this conversation around producing financial statements on a regular basis, making sure AP and AR is up to date, and you're having the wrong conversation. I can go hire a bookkeeper and a part-time controller to do that stuff.
Yes.
But as a fractional, if we're talking about our technical expertise, our executive experience, right, and our proprietary processes, all of a sudden that bundle makes it so much harder to compete with the competition. The competition's not going to crack the door.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be selling features.
Yeah.
They're going to be selling, I'm going to be doing this thing every week and every month. So I'll repeat those 3 things: technical skills, executive leadership experience, and your proprietary processes.
Yes.
That bundle makes you bulletproof and differentiates you in the market.
From everybody else.
Most fractionals sell technical. They sell their technical expertise. That's what they do. I'm a CMO, I'm a CIO, whatever. I can go buy that service anywhere.
It is a commodity, and it's being commoditized, and AI is commoditizing it even faster. Yeah.
Right. It's going to drive the price down. As soon as you get into that commodity layer, it's a price distribution. It's not even a value discussion. It's a price discussion. You're in the wrong conversation.
Yes.
Wrong conversation.
Absolutely.
So as we talk to our executives, as we position ourselves in our content, as we market ourselves, when we're on LinkedIn and all those things, certainly you have to bring technical expertise, but you have to layer that with executive experience. Experience gives us the ability to help our clients see around the corner, anticipate what's happening just before we hit the wall. Combining those two is tremendous value.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Then when you layer on proprietary processes, how we execute,
takes it a whole nother level.
the value goes through the roof.
Whole nother level.
Yeah. So I built the Fractional Launchpad, my community and coaching program for fractionals, based on this phenomenon, let's say. I took my 14 years of doing fractional work, 20 years of doing B2B consulting, and I systemated what I do to land $90,000, $150,000, $200,000 clients. I put it in a system. And that's what I teach my members.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you step back and think about how you execute as an executive, as a leader, you have systems, you have processes, you have approaches. Simply document. Just document them. Give it a name. So it has an identity, has some perceived additional value. Those are your proprietary processes.
Yes.
Even if it's just a general outline of the steps and phases you go through, that's enough. It doesn't have to be a full SOP manual here. We're not talking about that. So when you're talking to a prospect, you can talk about your technical expertise. You can talk about your executive experience and the systems and processes, which you guarantee they don't have.
They
right?
don't
That's
have
why
it.
Makes a powerful bundle that differentiates you, like I say, and brings a ton of value. So that's step number 3 in making your business more resilient in any business cycle.
Okay, so before we go, Dean, just recap it. Give me the 3 again.
Okay. First one, you ready for this?
Yeah, let's go.
Offer flexible engagement models.
Okay. Number 2.
Number 2 is implement strategic client reviews every 90 days.
That's mine. That's the one I'm taking.
Yep.
And number
3 is develop intellectual property and systems. So bundle your technical skills, your leadership experience, and your proprietary processes. Wrap those up as part of your offer.
And this is how we build a resilient fractional business.
Yep.
I mean, it almost sounds too easy. But I know you help people do this. And that's what the Fractional Launchpad is all about. And not only is the Fractional Launchpad about that, but as you heard, and I know y'all heard this, he's teaching you how he landed $200,000 deals. I'm sure you want a couple of those, right? So Dean, how do people find out about the Fractional Launchpad?
We'll have a link in the description of this video. You can go to fractionallaunchpad.com or just hit me up on LinkedIn, man. I'm out there all the time. Find me on LinkedIn, DM me out there. Happy to chat.
Perfect. Well, everybody, as always, he's Dean. I'm Atiba. It's time for your business to become resilient. We're the Fractional Pros. We'll see you next time.
See you next time, guys.